Wonderful Year 13s. Hello, this is just a short message from me to say goodbye, God bless, and good luck for the future. Normally, I get you guys all together in the chapel and do it, but of course this year it's all a little bit different. And I've got your present. I've got this book, so hopefully you've already seen it. And basically, when I went to university, I just couldn't cook for toffee. And I lived off 99p fish pies and 99p lasagnas, and I don't want you to have that experience. So I got you this. It's a cookbook to hopefully get you through university years and beyond. But as well in that book, there are some stories and thoughts about the Christian faith, which I really hope you find useful and interesting. Look, I really hope you make the most of every opportunity you have. Just go for it. Live life to the full. Whatever it's going to hold for you, just grasp it and take it and go for it. Jesus says, I came that you may have life, and life to the full. And the fullness of life he's talking about, it's eternal life that he gives through his death at the cross. But of course, it's the fullness of life now, that he can show us how to live life the right way, the best way, and to make the most of life and all that it holds. So I really pray that you go for it and you enjoy it in all that life holds for you. And do keep in touch. We would love to see you whenever you are back in the valley. Come and say hi. And if anything we can ever do to help, just do drop us a message. Now look, Mr. Leggett and Miss Snell and the GTAs, they've put a little video together of how to make the most of life at university, and so do keep on watching if you'd like to watch that. And God bless and good luck for the future, and keep in touch. See ya.
My top tip for getting stuck into university life is exactly that. Is to give things a go in your first year whilst you've got loads of new time, you've got new opportunities, you can try sports you've never tried before, you can get stuck into societies before your marks start to count too much, depending on where you are. And yeah, just give everything you want to a go in first year. You've got nothing to lose. Get stuck into a really good church. Go the first weekend if you can. The first weekend you move in, it just sets a really easy precedent then, and it takes the pressure off going for the first time because you've already done it. And then when you get into your second year, because you've given everything a go in first year that you want to, you can assess and prioritise what you really want to fill your time with, that is life-giving and enriching, and the people you want to spend it with, because you've sort of had a taste of everything that the university has to offer in your first year. So yeah, get stuck in, give things a go. If there's a random sport you're like, oh, I've always wanted to try archery, do it. Just, you've got nothing to lose. There's so many like free taster events in your first year, and don't let not being in first year stop you. If you get to final year and you've never tried a sport before and you're like, actually I want to do it now, do it then. It's such a great time to start something new in your life, is university, so make the most of that opportunity.
What's up, monks in year 13? Hope you're doing well and playing lots of golf. I've been told to send you a little top tip for university, and my top tip, guys, would be to get involved in the most amount of opportunities that you can. There are so many things going on at university, so many opportunities that may never come around again, so I would just get stuck in. I even picked up a little trumpet, got myself into a band. Watch out, Luke and Tilly. So get involved, do things that you might not have thought about trying before. You may love it. It's an amazing time, great socially to get to know lots of people. So just get involved, do as many things as you can, try something new, as Mr. Wheeler would always say, and yeah, enjoy yourselves, have an amazing time. Miss you guys, hope you're all doing well.
Hi guys, how you doing? Long time no see. Mr. Rimmer here. Thought top tips for university. It's been a while since I've been, but actually I've got big news that I'm going back to university this year to study theology. So I'm going to be a fresher with you guys as well. So I'm reteaching myself as well the top tips of what it was like at university early on. I think, first of all, I would say for me, I found the most important thing, best thing I did was nailing my colours to the mast. So that means quick change. So yeah, here we go. Jesus is King. Repping the Kanye West stash. So yeah, I think let people know early on that you're a Christian. Let people know what I did was first week after Freshers Week, I said I'm going to church. That was an easy way of letting people know. And actually, people are so desiring to be loved and so desiring to be liked by everyone that they will totally accept you. And you carry something which every single person deep down really desires, and that is Jesus. You carry Jesus. So that helps so much in all the situations, social situations, that you can be yourself. And so let people know early on, just get it out there and throw it into a conversation. Yeah, I was at church the other day. People will totally accept you because they themselves are wanting to be accepted. So that was top tip. Nail your colours to the mast. Let people know you're a Christian, and that will help you early on in university. It's what I'm going to do when I go back. So yeah, there we go.
It's tempting when you start university to try and reinvent yourself and create a new persona, but just be real. You'll be a lot happier and people will respect that.
Hi guys, hope you're all doing well and excited about going to uni whenever that may be. One of my top tips for your time at university, and especially starting off at uni, would be to not put any pressure on yourself, to not pressurize kind of your first week or your first month or your first term, but to just go in with kind of the mindset that I'm just gonna have fun, enjoy myself, be me, and just see what happens. If you pressurize it, it can just be a bit stressful, but if you just don't put any pressure on yourself to make this many friends or do this many things, but to just go with the flow and enjoy it, I think that's a really good way to start university.
Hey guys, hope you're doing well. We met on Monday evening at Year 13 Bible study, and we were having a think about university and what it's going to be like heading off to uni, and we just thought we'd share a few of our thoughts on some of the things that we found helpful and that we loved about uni and why uni is such a great time. So yeah, Mr. Now, where were you at uni and what did you kind of love about uni? Did you enjoy your experience and what was great about it?
Yeah, so I went to the University of Surrey, for some of you that don't know, which is in Guildford. My uni was a campus, but it was right next to the city, which I think is best of both worlds. But obviously you can all have your own choices. Uni was a really fun time. At first it was really scary because it's starting somewhere new where you don't know anyone, but it was really enjoyable and I look back very fondly on it. I did a placement year, so I did a 4-year course, which if any of you guys are thinking about doing it, feel free to get in touch. About kind of what that looks like with a year out, like doing work and then coming back to uni. But no, I thought it was just a really fun time to meet new friends and join societies, just get to explore a new area in the country, and it's just a really good chance to grow up. I know at boarding school you guys have had that independent life and you've come and some of you will have learned how to do your laundry and time management and workload and all of that jazz. But actually it's the next level from that. That will help you, but from there you're learning how to do your food cooking for the first time and how to cook for the first time and all of that jazz. So don't be put off if you think you're on your own in this boat. You're really not. It's a really fun time. And I still have loads of friends from uni that I'm still in touch with. So sorry, that was a bit of a ramble. But yeah, uni, the highlights for me probably were joining societies and joining a good church for me.
What society were you a part of? What were some of the ones that you joined?
So I did netball, but I did it more socially, just kind of pick and choose when I wanted to play. I was part of the snow sports, and that was really cool because we got to go skiing kind of every couple of weeks at the indoor snow dome, that's what it's called. Surf academy, so there were weekend trips to go surfing. Food and wine society, I really, really enjoyed my food, so it was a really good chance to experience new food and try kind of posh wines and stuff at a good price. Yeah, how about you? What were your societies?
I was a member of the CU, so the Christian Union, and the cricket club as well, which is really fun. So that was kind of a weird one. It kind of brings different challenges and things. So some of you guys may be familiar or have heard of kind of the drinking culture at uni is pretty big, and people will kind of say the only way to go and have fun and have a good time at uni is to go out and get absolutely battered every night.
And how did you get around that? Kind of, were you someone that went out and got drunk all the time, or I don't know, how did you play it with the pressures?
No, yeah, thanks. It's kind of at the cricket club particularly, it's kind of, you have these socials once a week, and you'll go, and the expectation is that you drink 15 pints in the evening, and I wasn't going to do that. Being a Christian, I think it's right not to get drunk. I love alcohol, I love a glass of wine or a beer, but I don't think it's right that we should be getting drunk. And so the way I went about it was to be really clear and said that I wouldn't drink beer at socials. I'd do milk instead. And really interestingly, one of the guys on committee at the cricket club at the time, on my first initiation, was...
What's an initiation? Just go in a bit of detail there.
So it's kind of when you join as a fresher, you're kind of often made to do challenges or things to kind of as an acceptance thing, and then you're welcomed into the club. Ours was relatively tame compared to some. I think we had to down a couple of pints, so I did milk instead of beer, and say a story or something, and it wasn't too bad. Some of them can be pretty intense. The rugby one's a classic for that. But actually making a stand really early and saying I was going to do milk kind of went a long way, and they respected that, which was great, and sort of evolved into kind of becoming the milkman.
So how many pints of milk did you tend to drink on a night out? Or
it was rank. It was like 6, 7. Like, right. It was really grim. And then there was one time when I was the only sober person at an event. It was a cricket social. I was the only sober person there, and I was the first one to throw up. But actually, it was so funny because Mr. Rimmer's brother was on the cricket committee, and he kind of looked after me a little bit while I was there. He was really kind, but I had no idea about Mr. Rimmer at the time. But it was quite funny now, seeing the link and having worked with Mr. Rimmer, but also knew his brother.
Yeah, nice.
Really close to the scene. Yeah, I was kind of thinking actually, and we spoke a little bit about it on Monday night. Is there anything you wish you had been told before you went to uni? So if you have people doing a little video like this now, what do you wish someone had told you, or the best bit of advice that you were told that you've really held on to?
Good question. So a couple of things. Number one, I was really encouraged to kind of go to church and find the CU. For me, I did say it on Monday night, but finding the CU in the first week was really hard because of the campus. It was all like room codes, and yeah. I just didn't know where to go. And
It's so true. No one tells you about that, and they'll kind of say that you got to meet at this room, and it's this like, it looks like an algebra formula more than the name of a room.
Yeah.
Sorry, carry on.
No, okay. So yeah, it was one of those things that I could have very easily given up because I couldn't find this room, but it's being brave, it's going out, it's asking people for help, and I did, and it was really good because it just meant that I could find CU, find some friends immediately. Everyone's in the same boat, as we've said, you're all freshers, and then when it came to churches, I could then have some friends to try different churches with, and some of them went to different churches to me, others did come to the same church as me, so it's just a good way of at least going with someone, because it's very daunting going to church the first time completely on your own, and it's just nice to have someone to sit down next to. So that was one bit of advice, and so get involved, kind of CU in church. Yeah, I was involved in the CU committee in my second year. I actually managed to get to president, which is fun. Actually, it's a really good way to you get to learn about like how committees work and how societies work. And I had friends who were presidents and things for other societies, but the CU has always been a big one for me. So that's good. Number one. Number two was take a door stop. That sounds really weird, but like,
yeah, it does. But it's honestly, it's one of the best bits of advice. And I didn't take one, and I wish I had. Why is it advice?
Because first week or first day, actually, when you're moving into halls, you don't know anyone, no one knows anyone. Having your door open just shows that you're really welcoming and you're friendly and you can just chat to people. And so make an effort, have your door open, and hopefully people will feel a bit more at ease to come and say hi. And likewise, you're going to say hi. It's really daunting if you come to a door that's shut and you have to knock on the door because it's just a bit awkward. So if the door's open, just a bit easier.
And I think it's worth us noting, actually, we have no idea with coronavirus and lockdown what your guys like leaving now, your uni experience will look like. It may be that some of you are going into halls and being freshers at university in September. It might be that some of you are doing online stuff. It might be that you're all at uni. It might be that you're all online. We don't know. But if you are there, take a doorstop.
Yeah. How about you? What would your top tips be?
I think mine, one of the things is just get involved. I loved uni because it's such a unique time. Like there's no other time in life where you have that much kind of time and freedom to do stuff that you want to do. So whether you love playing sport or you love music or you love drama or you, one of the things I was thinking the other day is like if you love coffee, spend loads of time going to the different coffee shops in your city and checking them out and ranking them. Like you've got time to do that. So go and do it. As soon as you get into the working world, actually those opportunities, you can do them, you can work them, but it becomes much harder. But uni, you have the time and the freedom and the opportunity to do it with a load of other people who are in the same boat and can do the same things as well. So make the most of that. And just the unique time that it is, the fact that you've got time and freedom to do it, go and make the most of it. You won't have that time again. So go and enjoy it and relish it and make the most of it. And similarly to you, I think one thing for me would be to get stuck into a church or go along and find out. At Moncton, you obviously get quite a lot of Christian input. Actually, you guys will be on different journeys. Maybe you want nothing to do with anything. Some of you will be really keen, really going for it. But actually, I think two things that people are looking at or looking for at uni, looking for company. Everyone kind of wants to make friends. It's one of the classic things. Kind of when you start uni, people are like, yeah, I just kind of like, everyone's in the same boat. Everyone wants to make friends. Actually, people want company and people want security, and particularly even more so at this time when things are so up in the air and everything's changing. I mean, the government advice is changing every week, really.
Yeah.
And we have no idea what September will look like, October. And so everything is changing. So people want company and they want security. And I was just thinking, I was going to read a couple of verses from Hebrews chapter 13. So Hebrews chapter 13, verse 5 says this. It says, God has said, never will I leave you, never will I forsake you. And in verse 8, it says, Jesus Christ is the same yesterday, today, and forever. And so in God, we find both company. He's with us the whole time. Never will he leave us, never will he forsake us. And we find security in Jesus. He's the same yesterday, today, and forever. And so I'd encourage you to go to church and to check it out, because that's where you find those things. So the more we learn and the more we find out about God and Jesus and what he's done and what his character's like, the more we find those two things, the two things that I think most uni students are searching for.
Yeah, definitely.
That's certainly my experience.
On that kind of, how would you recommend people find churches? Obviously at Moncton, it's really obvious. You've got bus runs, you can walk, kind of depends where your friends are going. You're going to uni, first time, blank canvas, you don't know anyone. Where do you start with choosing a church?
Yeah, that's a really good question. One of the things that we can send you a link out, there's UCCF, who basically head up all the Christian unions. They're a great point of contact. There'll be things on their website. You can kind of find your uni contacts there. But also they'll lay on church searches. So they'll meet you on a Sunday, half an hour before church will start at your campus. There'll be representatives from each of the churches there, and you can go and pick one. They'll give a brief little thing about their church, and you kind of go along and check one out. So spend a few weeks going to different churches and seeing what's helpful, and where you think you might want to find a home, where you're best going to learn more about Jesus. more about God, where you're best gonna grow, and find out more.
I think also on that kind of, if coronavirus is still a thing and you guys aren't physically able to get to the cities, don't be discouraged. Don't think that that's it. Like, my hope is gone. Look online. There'll be church services online. There'll be CUs still. They'll still be doing stuff online. Look at the different platforms. I don't know, where do you reckon they'll be? Obviously on the websites. Instagram will probably have stuff on.
Yeah, and I guess through UCCF, or I don't know how unis will do it. It might well be that they do sort of an online church search, and that they allow you guys still to meet other students. I really encourage you to do that, because at the moment, as you leave, you could kind of, if we were in lockdown and you were doing online learning from home, actually it could be very much an individual uni experience. What do you want? I think you probably will want people in the same boat. So actually, I'm sure, and I think the CUs, I can imagine, will be, and I hope they will be, particularly good at doing that and allowing you guys to connect with other people who are in the same boat, and you can share how you're feeling and what's going on, and the things you're finding good and encouraging, and the things you're finding hard, and I think that'll be really valuable. And so I hope and I expect that CUs will be putting on something like that, to help you guys connect with each other.
Any last things you want to shout out to the teams?
Go and have fun, embrace it, whatever it may look like, whether it's online or whether you're there. I'm sure over the 3 or 4 years, you will have some time at uni, and it'll be back to, certainly by the end, a normal uni experience. Just enjoy this stage of life. It's really exciting. I know it can be daunting and scary, and it was for me, but it's such a cool time. So go and enjoy it.
Yeah, I think it is such a good time. I look back really fondly on my time there and all the way through to graduation. There's just some really fun events and fun things to get involved in. Slightly on a boring note, I had a job while I was at uni. It's useful to have money. Student loan doesn't go very far. You'll learn that very quickly. You'll have a nice pay in September, and then it's going to last you till January. So yeah, actually, I think if you want to get a job, it can look good on CV. And I had a job that gave me food and coffee, so that was no bad thing, really. But yeah, guys, I really do hope you have fun. And if you need anything, got any questions, feel free to email either of us. Get
in touch. Go and enjoy it. Cheers, guys.
See you later, guys.